Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Valhalla Games' continuous ongoing series of Dragons of Stormwreck Isle. We are back once again with session/episode 4 of the ongoing campaign with my friends here, Mr. Rafik6, Mr. Hellsbreach, and Mrs. Daydream. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you are confused on what is going on, we have 3 past episodes for you to go check out on the live channel for WinglessValkyrie. Go check them out. They are numbered, so you can follow them accordingly. If you're all caught up, well then hunky-dory. Ain't that fantastic for you? Welcome back. We are starting off where we last left off in the Seagrow Caves with our intrepid adventurers as they fought a couple of fuming smoke snake monster things that both exploded when they were killed and just caused a bit of a nuisance before they finally unlocked the red crystal that was plugging the fume vents inside, and outside of it came this small but scary looking fire snake. At one point, they were about to attack it before deciding, let's see if we can hear this thing out. Let's see if we can actually decipher what it wants and have a communication with it. Communication was begun, didn't seem to work before suddenly a flash went through everybody's minds, and it spoke out in Primordial, asking, "What do you bring to offer me?" And that is where we last left off. Also, something to mention. I failed to mention this during the stream because they had not reached this point yet, but I've shuffled things around everybody. They are all now level 3. They have leveled up off stream, so we are beginning this session somewhat mid-combat, potentially, but they have all since leveled up from level 2 to level 3. No multi-classing as far as I can assume, but that is where we last left off. So, without any further ado, let's get the ambience going, and let's go ahead and start off where we left off. In the Seagrow Caves, deep in one of its back rooms, after a long, hard-fought fight against some smoke snakes, you've now encountered a fire snake that has burst out of this red crystal that has since no longer blocked the fumes coming out of the vent, and they are now able to escape without harming any of the indigenous creatures inside here, hopefully. But we're not yet done. As you, Accord, stand in front of this fire snake as it has lifted itself high up to match a little bit above your eye level and look down, and you saw its face kind of for a second go from this very, very random, crazy fire snake sphere to all of a sudden a more composed, determined look. And all 3 of you got a flash of a red image of slit eyes and horns briefly in your minds before now the fire snake goes, "What do you bring to offer me?" In Primordial. For those who do not speak Primordial, unfortunately you hear, and that's about it. So, that is where we begin. So, what would you 3 like to do?
All right. You said we get a glimpse of a red dragon. Am I to believe that this snake is acting as like an aspect of a red dragon?
You have no idea. You could come to that conclusion if you wish, but you have no way to determine that as fact.
All right, then. At this, Accord stance will kind of shift from his normal aggression of just being in combat to like hatred. Okay. He will stare at this snake, and he will say in Primordial, "I offer you nothing, vile aspect, vile spawn of Tiamat. I offer you nothing but a swift death."
I'm assuming that's also in Primordial?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and I'll also mention he starts to like shift from primordial into like full-on Ignan.
Okay.
Which is the dialect of Plane of Fire specifically.
Yep.
He's not speaking to this snake, he's speaking at it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, what's going on over there? I don't understand that language. Do you? Looking over
I think it's going really well.
At that notion, the fire snake goes a little bit taller. It has maybe 3 or 4 feet left of its tail that is now standing on. It seems almost impossible to hold all this weight on that such a small part of its tail, but it's seeming to do so as it rises up a little bit more, and it opens its mouth, and the voice that comes out is much deeper and a little bit louder than before. If you offer nothing, yet my demise, then you best be ready to follow through. And at that point, we're going to get you all to roll initiative as it begins to attack.
All right, here we go. Are we
19.
getting into tabletop again?
Yes, I will launch tabletop here in a moment.
I apparently need to find it. There it is. All right. No way I'm able to get like ridiculous numbers again, right?
No chance.
We take it.
No chance.
We take it. We take it.
Okay. Let me go ahead and get tabletop up and running. My apologies. Daydream, would you like a webcam version, or do you want to launch it yourself?
A webcam version, please.
You got it. Okay, that one, and load that one. All right, table is up for those of you to join.
Bam. Baba booey.
And
I will share my screen here.
Aha.
There you go. And we'll switch this over to combat. All right, and step block here, roll. Okay. Okay. All right. 25 to 20. 15 to 20.
19.
Okay.
I believe I'm at a 16 there, boss.
16. Okay. Daydream, what'd you roll?
A 6.
Nice. All right. So then, top of the round will be you, Accord, as this fire snake looms overhead and it gets ready to make some form of attack against you. You're not sure what kind, but you get the initiative first, so you get to strike first. What would you like to do?
I punch it in the face.
Go for it.
Was there any ever any doubt?
You could kick it in the face.
That is true. A big spinning roundhouse kick.
Yep.
Does a 21 hit?
No. Yes, 21 hits. Go ahead and roll up your damage.
All right. And
All right, let's see what you got.
6.
6 points of bludgeoning damage. You got it.
Not bludgeoning.
Oh, what kind now? What are you changing it to?
As you guys see Accord lash out as this thing, his fist will like coat in ice through the air, and he will deal 6 points of cold damage
Cold damage. Got it. All right.
Does that seem to be more effective against it?
As you wind back and ice particles wrap around your knuckles and you drive home your fist into the side of this fire drake, that your knuckles, what sounds like your knuckles, all of them just cracking upon impact. It's just the ice particles lodging themselves deep into the side of this thing's mandible. The ice seems to hurt, but not more than normal.
Worth a shot.
Anything else on your turn, Accord?
I will. I'll flurry of blows this thing.
Sorry, was that?
Or.
Sorry, what type of that was cold damage?
Yes.
Never mind. Yes, it does seem to have a bigger impact than normal. My apologies, I misread.
Oh.
Yeah, I was about to say. Then I will flurry of blows this thing.
Okay, go for it. How many key points you got left?
How many key points I got left? This will bring me down to 1 left.
Gotcha.
First attack is a 22.
That'll hit.
Seems good.
And then I'm assuming a 7 does not hit.
A 7 does not, unfortunately. Your second attack that you bring up hits the other side of the mandible, crack into its side of its jaw. You can go ahead and roll your damage for that. But then your third one is you bring it up trying to uppercut it. It slips just out of the way, and your uppercut just skims its nose.
5 points of cold.
5 points of cold for that one as well. All right. Solid. Anything else on your turn, Accord?
Nope.
All right. As you pull back your fists, feeling good and powerful, the fire drake kind of whips its head around a little bit, just ricocheting back from the impact of those punches before it just settles, narrows its eyes, and all three of you in your heads just hear, good. I need something to eat after a long, arduous birth. Simon, you are up.
Was that in primordial or common or what?
That was in common in your guys' heads.
Oh boy. I move one over. I'm able to get a clear shot at it.
Oh
I
yeah.
imagine.
Yep, you've got line of sight.
Yeah. I'll just bring up the crossbow that I definitely didn't forget that I had.
I believe that.
Also, how is Accord looking at this point?
Like in terms of health?
Yeah, are you like on your last legs or?
Nah, he's looking
good?
pretty. He's pretty good.
Good. And what about Fantasia?
Fantasia's looking pretty good.
All right, we can deal with that. Yeah, they've got 80 feet of range on this thing, so I'm gonna take a shot.
Go for it. Fire it off.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Oh yeah, baby. Stride and true.
Let's fucking go, boys.
It's a good thing you definitely didn't forget that crossbow. You're a natural with it.
So yeah, that's 2d8 plus 2.
Woohoo!
I rolled a 1 and a 5.
Nice.
So that's 8 points of piercing damage.
Got it. All right. So as you load up and you watch it sail off, and you see it aiming for straight down its throat, and you're like, hell yeah. And it hits its throat, tried and true. And just as it hits, though, for some reason, it seems to like cough it up and spit half of it out before it just kind of slowly shakes and looks straight down the long, narrow pathway at you. It seemed to hurt, but not as much as it should have.
Ah, unfortunate. AKA, I am not useful in this fight. Okay,
You've still
I
got a
guess
bonus
I will-
action and the rest of your movement if you wish to use it.
I do not have a bonus action, and I will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna interject myself in between.
You and that rock.
Yeah.
You got it. All right. That's it for your turn?
Yep, that's it.
All right. The fire snake's turn. So, at this point, it kind of shakes a little bit, and it seems to look at all three of you very briefly before it swells up a little bit and just... You think that crystal was just for me? And a steam of scalding hot fire emanates out from this fire snake before the steam itself times to fume around and take the form of those fume drakes you fought earlier. They're just made of this steam instead of smoke. And they will appear. 1 second while I go grab them again. One on either side. Okay. That's that. And then as they form around in the steam left by this fire snake, it just goes, "You two, deal with this one. My prey lies in the wait." And it will then attempt to sneak on by you. Accord, you can go for an attack of opportunity if you wish.
Yeah, I'm a hit. He's
Go.
ain't getting away.
Go for it. Swing.
Bada. Oof.
I'm going to assume it wasn't good.
No, I didn't hit. I
Damn.
did not get it.
All right.
6.
Yeah, not quite. As you go for an attack, you impact it, but it wiped your hand away with its tail as it just, and it just kind of as it travels back down 5, 10, 30, puts it there. All right. As it comes that way towards Fantasia. Fantasia, you just see this massive fire snake just swivel on the ground, leaving small bits of molten in its pathway as it comes swiveling up to you. Not quite reaching you, but getting pretty damn close. And then those fume drakes just spawned. They've got summoning sickness. Now they cannot attack. From there, we go to Fantasia.
Summoning sickness, Lamau.
So if I wanted to cast a spell that took... Oh, wait. How far away from me is it?
It is 10 feet away.
Okay. I would like to cast Shatter.
Okay. Would you like to read out Shatter for me?
A sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point of your choice within range. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
A creature that takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
And you're just putting it at a point so it hits just the fire snake, I imagine?
Yes.
You got it. All right. What's the type of save again? Remind me, apologies.
Constitution.
Constitution saving throw. You got it. It rolled an 11. What was your DC?
13.
Oh, it fails. So, as it comes swiveling to you, you get a little bit of adrenaline pumping in your body. You're like, oh god, before you just summon down yourself, you're like, and you point above it before you hear a ping, like a massive church cathedral window just smashes overhead, and the raining hellfire causes this fire snake to freak out internally from this sound before it then crumples under the weight of however much damage you roll.
3d8 was it?
16 damage.
Holy shit!
What type of damage is that?
Dang.
I think thunder. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
That's a
Thunder
lot of
damage.
damage.
That's a lot of damage.
It is.
That might kill it.
16 thunder damage?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, how do you want the fire snake to react to this internal shattering of thunder in its brain before it dies?
So here's what I do. Here's what I do. I point to it and I say, the winding inner path of an onion represents eternal life, but yours stops here. And then I cast Shatter on it.
Brilliant.
Okay, that is badass.
All right. As it comes to grip with what the fuck is an onion before wham, smash, boom in its brain, before its brain just melts inside, not from its own internal temperature, but just from the sheer booming sound of the shatter, and the fire snake falls dead in its place.
Wow. Y'all did damage.
And none of you heard a thing because it was only in its head. You heard her statement, but you didn't actually hear the spell.
No, I believe it actually does make the sound.
Does it? I thought it said in
Yeah.
in the mind of the target within range.
No, it's in an area of effect.
We'll find out. How does the spell read again for me, Daydream?
A sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point around your choice within range.
Okay, yeah, never mind. It's not in its head. So yeah, all of you hear, but it's not loud enough for you guys to go like, holy fuck, and take damage. So
It's tetanus, but like, 30 times more.
yeah, pretty much. Alrighty. Anything else on your turn there, girl?
I'm gonna walk just to the other side of the rock next to me.
So you're going this way?
No, the other way, towards the fume drakes.
Okay. You want to go your full 30 feet just stepping on top and over it?
I walk over it. It is
Alright.
nothing to me.
You got it.
Oh.
Do you want to go straight up to here or elsewhere?
A couple squares back. I'm not that brave.
Okay. Just there?
That's good.
All right, as you stand there proudly walking over the corpse of this fire drake, or fire snake, sorry, standing proudly. All right, that's it for your turn, Fantasia?
That's everything.
All right, top of the round is Accord.
Ah, damn, it's already back to me.
It is.
All right. Hey, can a cone of damage hit the two drakes from my position?
From where you're standing right now,
Yes.
depends on how big the cone is.
It is. It's a 20-foot cone.
20 foot, I would say no. You have to move a little bit either back or off to the side to hit both of them. You're a little too close for a 20-foot cone.
That's an attack of opportunity from one of them.
It is potentially.
So.
Could just
I'm
gut
just-
punch each of them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna attack the one to my right.
Okay. Go for it.
Gonna punch him twice. 18.
18 will hit.
Five cold.
5 cold, you got it.
And then I'll bonus action strike. There's a 14 hit.
14 does hit the Fume Drake. Yep.
That is another 5 cold.
5 cold, alrighty. So, as you throw your punches into the bit of fume and smoke here, and they do land, they have a bit of a squishy impact, like punching a waterbed almost in a way, but the cold damage does not seem to have an effect on these Fume Drakes. It does hurt, but it doesn't do additional damage.
Alright.
Anything else on your turn, Accord?
Nope.
Alright. From there, we move down to Simon.
So after hearing a explosion, and seeing Fantasia come out from the other side, he's gonna go, "What happened over there?" And never mind that, I have a fume drake to shoot, so I'll just shoot at the one that's already damaged over here.
Crossbow?
You got it.
You got it. Fire it off.
15.
That'll hit.
1d8 plus 2, so 5 piercing.
5 piercing. Woohoo! Alrighty.
And that's it.
All right, as a cord, whap, whap, and you pull your arms back before you're as a bolt comes dangerously close to your shoulder, but strikes into this fume drake before pieces of it just dissipate into the fog around it. It's hurting. It's not bleeding or anything, but it's hurting. All right, from there, the fume drakes. So, this one here is going to say that looked really threatening. Boink, boink, boink. If you'd like to, you may take an attack of opportunity, Simon.
Give me the cord.
Sorry, yes, a cord.
Yeah, I'm a grab that.
Go for it.
Let's see. $18.
18 will hit.
What
Throw out some damage.
types can I do?
I believe it's like lightning, acid, cold. Fire.
4 damage, and I'm gonna try acid damage.
Acid damage, all right. As it slithers by you and you wheel around and just wham! Forming some dripping green and black ooze on your knuckles before it impacts and splatters across the back of its spine. It impacts, it hurts. It does not seem to hurt it any more additionally. And you said that was 4 acid damage?
Yes, I did.
You got it. All right, as that one comes sailing down here, as you turn around and attack that one, this one is going to go and it is going to send out a scalding breath. Actually, both of them are sending out scalding breaths. This one, you accord. And actually, hold on, 5, 10, 15. Nope, just accord. Actually, no, it's going to go 5, 10. Nope, it can't do it either way. Fuck. Yeah, this one will just do it at accord, and then this one will go there, and yeah, hit you, Simon. So,
Okay.
Simon, dex save, accord, dex save.
Pog.
You either roll a nat 20 or a 1.
14.
1 bolt.
A 1, let's go, and then accord rolls a 14. Okay, accord, you succeed. Simon, fail. So, that will be all right. Simon, you take the full 6 fire damage. Accord, you would take half to 3, and then I believe you also resistant to fire.
Yes.
So down to 1. You take 1 fire damage.
Poggers.
Unfortunately, Simon, you take 6.
I can tank shit like that now.
That's true. You got that 8 additional health points, baby. All right.
It was a full 10.
A full 10? I thought you rolled a D. Oh, sorry, plus con. Yes, plus con.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. That is it for the Fume Drakes. They both use their Scalding Breath, and that's the movement they're going to do. All right, from there, Fantasia, you're up.
I would like to look at the one that is next to Accord, and I will say that you can get rid of onion breath by eating fresh parsley, but clearly you're out, and that is my vicious mockery.
You got it. Wisdom save?
Yes.
What? 4. It fails.
Woo!
Nice.
So it has, remind me, Dexter, it has disadvantage on next attack?
Correct.
Yeah.
And does it take any damage or anything?
It takes 3 damage.
3 damage. You got it. All right, and disadvantage on next attack. Got it. The Fume Drake, it wiggles about. You see curious eyes before it kind of like wriggles around for a second, just absolutely abolished by this statement as it racks its head around. The fuck's an onion? How do I get what? And it just goes into complete pandemonium. Anything else in your turn, Fantasia?
That is everything.
All right, top of the round, Accord.
So the one right by me is like on its last legs right now.
It looks pretty bad, and it's also just racking its brain with. It never thought about its breath, but now it's in full panic mode.
Only one course of action. I punch it again.
Got it. Swing for it.
19.
That'll hit. Roll up the damage.
5 points of, let's go, lightning this
5
time.
points of lightning. All right. As you bring your fist up and your knuckles crackle like jumping static electricity between them. And as you bring it down, it lights up the entirety of its body, and you can now see it's in a full length in all its smog as it lines it up and it dies. And the lightning has the inverse effect as well, because not only does the lightning travel up and down the whole thing, as the lightning explodes, so does the fume drake as it releases its death burst. Accord, I will need you to make a con save.
$18.
18's a success. On a success from the death burst, you take no damage. You knew it was coming, you get yourself out of the way, and you are unaffected as that fume drake lies in its steam as it dissipates throughout the cave. You've got bonus action and movement if you wish to use it.
As soon as that one dies, Accord will immediately turn to the other one, sprint at it, and just do a flying kick into this one.
Gotcha.
If you miss, you take damage. Anyone get that reference?
Oh, there's a reference? No, I thought you were just being funny.
Oh no, that's a reference.
Oh, nope, missed it.
That's because you don't play Pokemon.
17.
17 will hit.
And that is 6 damage.
Alrighty. Whew. As it's just, as it's finished off its breath weapon and it's kind of filling up its smog and hailing lungs once again, you come down from behind and just whoop, crack, and it and just gets very angry. All right, that's it for you, Accord.
Yep.
Simon.
There's a theme to this match here. It's
Uh-huh.
crossbow time.
You got it. You really don't want to.
Dirty 20.
Oh yeah, that'll hit. Are your inventions not working?
10 damage.
10 damage. Woo-hoo! How would you
Max.
like to kill the fume drake?
I imagine it's like it just got hit by a cord, so it's like, wailing around at him. It hears the patwang, looks this way, and like the bolt just goes through the entire thing, but it like bounces inside of it and comes out the other end.
Got it. Hell yeah. As the bolt tries to rifle its way through, just and it comes out the other end, and the bolt's not even like flying true anymore as it's bounced around so much, it just goes end over end, but the fume drake just perishes into steam and the bolt clatters upon the floor. And that will end the combat for this cave.
Explosion?
Oh yes, fume drake explosion.
Sorry.
Why'd you gotta remind him?
Forgot about that. Oh, and
Just dodge it, it's fine.
Once again, Accord's the only one in range. Accord, make a con save.
You're fine. You're fine.
17.
Yeah, you're good.
17. You're fine. Once again, you're
Not
like,
even close.
This is the third time I've seen this happen. I know what to do, and you're out of the way. All right, and that is it for the combat in this scenario. Okay. So, as everything begins to wind down, The hissing, the fire snake, the fume drakes, and all seems to relax and calm down. And the only thing you can hear now is the dripping of the water ambience. Oop, that was the wrong thing I turned off. Whoops. There you go. The ambience of the still dripping water from the caves and the steam that is now no longer going billowing into the cave, and now is going straight up and out into what you can see is the fading daylight above, as it is late in the afternoon, almost turning to the evening, but you can still see just the smoke filling out outside of the cave where it's supposed to be.
Jackson, you're at the very edge of the frame.
You can tell Ashley I'm moving it.
She's moving it. He's moving. Live moderation.
All right, anywho, you guys are free to do whatever you wish as I just kind of fiddle with things here.
Okay, the cord will look to both of you. Who's like, are you two fine?
I'm good. How hurt were you?
I'm fine. You saw it too, right?
Only two. I guess I'm looking around to see if there's anything spooky.
you
If
saw.
any fuckery abound.
Roll perception while you look for fuckery.
Nice.
You,
18.
cool.
18. As you take a look around, looking for any remnants of anything scary, spooky, fuckery, any of the above, you are very, very contempt. Or sorry, not contempt. You are very
Confident.
That's the word. I'm not contempt. You're very confident that aside from you three, there is nothing else in this cave. Aside from the rocks, the water, and the fumes, you are alone.
You saw the vision of that spawn of Tiamat. Did you not?
Simon will just nod.
Fantasia?
Fantasia's kind of looking at her hands, like, kind of grappling with the fact that she just kind of blew up a giant snake.
The proper reaction.
She's never performed this spell before, so she had no idea what it could do and was not expecting this.
Fantasia,
Yeah?
care to join us in discussing what the hell just happened?
Well, what I really think happened is this crystal exploded and is no longer blocking the way, so it's a successful mission. And can I inspect to make sure that the airway is now clear and that the smog will start to filter out of the room?
You sure can. You can make a nature check.
11.
11. As you head over to the hole in the ground and you start inspecting around the nature of this inlet with all the fumes coming out, it is natural that some of it doesn't escape out through the top, but it seems to be coming out at a rate that it comes out with enough force that is what built the hole in the first place in the ceiling for it to push out of. It's wormed its way through the hole, and unless the source of all this fume down deep below subsides or slows down, it will not spill out into this cave anymore. It will escape naturally through the top. And also, while you look around looking into the thing, the hole goes very, very far down. It is lit by some form of fire or embers of some kind deep down below, because you can see the sides of the wall, but you can't see the bottom. It is a long, narrow drop. And on top of that, the little bits of crystal that house that fire snake, they are in fact rubies. And there's 10 shards of it.
Ooh. Can I safely take the rubies?
Define safely.
Like, it's not like my skin would react to this gas, right?
To the ruby crystals?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was in an area of high concentration of the gas.
No, just the crystal that was blocking this vent, as it shattered, 10 meaty chunks of it landed around the room, and those chunks are ruby. You can easily.
big?
Okay.
They're
Okay.
probably a decent size. I'd say probably about the size of this box.
Is there if any had dropped near where I'm at, I'll just kneel down and just take a look at it.
I would say you were a little further away. I'd say one got a large and kind of and rolled towards you, but most of them seem to be around the vent itself.
Would I know if they're still magical?
You can make an Arcana check if you wish.
I'm also looking at it to see any sort of properties.
Are you looking?
Actually,
Okay.
and when that happens, he completely is like, dismissing like everything else that's going on, and he takes out just like a little like from his bag like a almost like a monocle, but it has like multiple different like stages.
Okay.
So it's like a magnifying glass. It's like.
Yep.
And
And what exactly are you looking for? Are you doing an Arcana check, or are you doing more of a what type of how fine of a ruby it is? What are you looking for exactly?
Both. I want to see if it could be used in what I like to do.
Gotcha. Okay. You can go ahead and make a straight intelligence check.
Okay. That's a 21.
Woo! That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
All right. So, and then Daydream, you were making an Arcana check.
I rolled a 13.
Nice. All right. Starting with you, Daydream, as you roll a 13, the crystals itself, the ruby bits, nothing magical about them. They seem to just be stones of a much larger ruby that encased the fire snake that is now just shattered and in pieces. And then the smog and smoke coming out of the vent, nothing magical about that. Seems to just be large amounts of steam and smog just billowing out from whatever is brewing down below. And then for you, Jackson, those ruby crystals, they could be used for stuff that you would like to do with tinkering. They would have to be embedded with magical properties for them to become magical, or if any of your magical stuff required a crystal or of some kind, or even more definitively a ruby, it could also work that way. But in just its natural sense right now, it would look pretty, and it could sell for a high wage. But that's about all it's good for. Unless you find something else that's like, sending requires a ruby crystal. It's like, ha! But until such a circumstance is met, it's a very nice ruby crystal. Could probably sell for a lot.
all right, can I examine them too? But specifically the rubies and the shards of the fire crystal.
Yeah.
For like, I'm looking at them more specifically for like the fact that it was a fire crystal and has some type of draconic connection.
You want to see if you can just explore that a bit more?
Yes.
Sure. Go ahead and roll also just straight intelligence for you.
$17.
17. As you pick up a couple pieces and look at them, while they are most definitively ruby crystal pieces, you can sense that these are not naturally created here. These were originated in the plane of fire, just from the shape of them, the feel of them. It's not naturally made by earth and rock. It is more made by constant heat and pressure akin to that of the fire plane. How it got here, not entirely sure. Can't definitively get that much, but it and also on the inside you can feel it is very soft and curved. Like this was purposely made to be an egg. This was not a crystal that formed that was then used as an egg. This was purposely built to house that fire snake, or it was created to around this fire snake to begin with. But beyond that, can't really get any more out of it.
So it does seem like it was created by someone, or something and not like naturally, like just a creature egg?
It could be naturally a crystal egg. Like it could be a creature egg, but a creature would have had to have laid it. This didn't naturally form from rock and stone. This was purposely made as an egg. Yes, rock and stone, rock and stone. But it was made to be an egg. Whether that was by someone or something, don't know. But it was made to be an egg in the elemental plane of fire. Beyond that, you can't really tell anything else more.
All right, I'll relay that to the other two, and I'll say the visions we got when fighting that thing. I think this was created as an egg to hatch, to birth an aspect of a red dragon. Was created by a red dragon? Was it supposed to become one? That I do not know yet.
I mean, valid hypothesis, I suppose. Could it also have used that vision as a intimidation tactic?
Possible.
No way of knowing now. As Simon kind of like looks over to like the steaming area of where its corpse is.
Almost nothing is left of the corpse except for these like small piles of molten lava and what can only be described as leftover skin, as it's all just kind of like melting away and becoming rock itself as it cools down.
I'd like to take like chunks of that if I could.
This one I'm going to have to ask, how do you do so? As it is almost lava-like in quality.
Well, let's see what I got here. I guess I'd wait for it to cool down a bit more.
Okay, sounds good. You just patiently watch.
Even just the like the shards of it, it was fine.
Gotcha. Okay, and then you're just gonna grab it real quickly and just shoop into the bag.
Essentially, yes.
Okay. As you wait around and you see bits of it that are no longer like as colorful as its skin was before, and it's kind of toned down to this earthy, blackish, brown, black texture, showing that it's definitely
I
cooled down
basically
enough.
like just use the dagger to just like flick it in.
Gotcha. All right, as you bring the bag down like a sweeper in a dustbin, and you take out your dagger and just kind of, and then a piece comes free, and you just and it's gone.
Well, this just adds a whole lot of more questions to what I'm here for. Ay, ay, ay.
I would like to collect. I would like to collect the ruby.
There is 10 shards of it in total.
I
Okay,
have
Yes, and Simon has taken one, so there's 9 shards left on the ground.
Okay, how do I add things to my inventory?
Manually. I believe you just go to your inventory section. You should be able to just click on one of the open
Manage.
blocks. Oh, managed, yes. And then you should be able to just add stuff. You may be able to search for items or just type it in manually. I would just type in manually 9 ruby crystals. Unless, Accord, are you keeping any? You were investigating some yourself.
For things like this, I usually just say, we get it, and it's shared among the party.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Simon has a bag of holding, so we'd probably put them all in there.
Oh, if you're keeping anything personal on you. Nope.
No.
Okay. Then, Daydream,
If
you can
given-
decide how to acquire them. You can put all 9 in your backpack. You can put some in Simon's bag. You can do whatever you wish with them.
I will put them all in Simon's bag of holding.
All right. As they all disappear into the void.
All right, now how do I add stuff to the freaking bag?
Manage. All right.
It disappeared.
Oh, I am so sorry. I misread this entirely.
But
It says it's a ruby crystal, but under the treasure section, the fire snake's egg breaks into 25 chunks of obsidian. So, my apologies. It is obsidian, not ruby, and there's 25 pieces, not 10.
Okay.
Everything else I've said, though, thus far, though, still accurate.
This is one of them.
So,
it's bad to say, because isn't ruby worth, like, a lot?
could be. Probably.
And there's no shop here, so.
There is no shop.
Hmm.
There is a pseudo trading person, but not really a shop. So, anywho. So yes, Simon, if you wish, you can add 25 pieces of obsidian to your bag. All right. What would you three like to do?
We should go check on the mushrooms leader.
Yes.
All right. As the three of you tidy up, begin heading out of this small little opening in the cave, and you make your way back into the primary large room. A couple of the mycoloids are waiting eagerly as you come out, and they all kind of like stand up tall with bated breath, and you can see their like bulky forms just very much expanding as they all inhale and wait for any kind of news whatsoever. There's about 5 of them as they
Vents are unblocked. Enemies are dead.
and all of them just, and as they exhale, just spores fill the whole room, and all of you once again connected by the brainways and pathways and highways, and you all get the feelings of relief, joy, excited, happiness, euphoria, just all kinds of feelings going through your minds from everything in this room. Before the large one, once again, comes up to you all and just bows his head, and you all hear in your heads, in your own voices, "Thank you. It is more than we could have ever done ourselves. With this problem fixed, things should return to normal. Yes." And one of the smaller ones begins kind of walking up to you guys, and it pulls out a large mushroom cap with kind of in the shape of a animated heart, not a real heart, but like, you know, your dumb Valentine's Day heart, as it comes up and kind of slowly brings this up to you. "This is something we usually traded on rare occasions. It is very, very potent. We offer this in service of your work."
I will, like, bow and take it from them.
All right. "If you speak to the one who traded, he can turn this into an elixir for you, which I was told is very good. In its natural state, it may just make you high."
According, take special caution to keep it away from Fantasia.
Gotcha. Alright, so Accord, you can add to your inventory a heart-capped mushroom.
Or
Alright. With that, the mic noise. "You are free to come and go as you please to our cave, and please let the trader know he is always welcome back. We are ready to trade once more. Thank you again. Leave and come as freely as you wish." Yes, Daydream?
So Fantasia is going to say, I have a matter of the utmost importance. You see, I am looking to start a farm on this island, and what I really need are good seeds. Do you think we could work out a deal for good seeds? I'm looking for onions specifically.
They all collectively begin thinking, and you immediately get the sense, thanks to the spores in this area, they have no idea what onions are. But they do have seeds. Primarily, though, these seeds are for flowers and mushrooms. A couple of them for some weeds and vines and some type of plants that grow underwater, but nothing onion related. But they have a plethora of seeds of all kinds of varieties, and they begin to think, whatever types of seeds you wish to have, they are yours.
Wonderful.
Give us some time to collect a sizable offering for you.
Thank you.
And they all kind of nod together.
How's the leader looking?
We will give him a day of time to recuperate now that the atmosphere is clearing out. But I imagine since it is now cleared, he should regain consciousness and his full capabilities in what I would hope to be a matter of days. We were staving it off for a time, but now that we are no longer staving it off and can actually fight it, a few days' time, and he should be good. And again, we have you to thank for that.
Simon, Fantasia, is there anything else you want to do here, or should we head back?
I think I have everything I dreamed of here.
Simon?
I'm ready.
I can't think of any reason to stick around at the moment.
Unless, you. For some chance, what do you know about fire snakes?
First hearing of one as you say its name now.
Worth a shot.
Apologies.
Hopefully our paths will cross again.
We do not tend to leave this cave as we are sensitive to the daylight. But maybe that changes in the future. If not, you are welcome here at any time.
And he will just walk away and wait for the others to be done.
All right.
Can we get an escort again?
Is this Jackson or Simon talking?
This is Simon.
An escort to the...
Past the bloodsuckers?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. And they all kind of collectively surround you, too. Simon, do you get involved in the plethora of mycoloids, or are you heading off on your own?
You mean a cord?
Did I say Simon? I meant Accord.
Nah, he'll sneak past him on his own again.
All right. Are you going before or after the other two?
Before.
Before? All right. Go ahead and make a stealth check. And then the other two, go ahead and make stealth checks with advantage.
Straight roll, poggers.
11.
11? Okay. I'll get back to you.
100 auto. Does... Oh, okay. Pog.
All right. So, Accord 11. Daydream?
16.
Ooh, with advantage is pretty good. Jackson?
Rolled 16 twice.
Damn, that's pretty good.
I
Jackson?
actually have a 21 with a normal roll.
Oh, with a normal roll. Damn, that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
I'm wearing a scale mail, so...
Gotcha. All right. So, as the three of you make your way through Accord, you pass by undetected. A couple times, you fear that you may have made a bit too much noise as they begin to move around quite frequently, but they begin to subside, and you make it through unharmed, and the rest of you, they don't even pay attention, and you guys are out of there. And you're once again back at the steps going down into the open ocean. And the tide now is very, very low. You can walk straight out onto the steps and up without ever getting your feet wet.
That's nice for a change.
All right.
Okay. Are you guys heading back
We-
off to base camp?
Seems so.
Unless anything happens, yeah.
All right.
And
I'll keep my eyes out.
on the way back, can I investigate that whistle I got from the owlbear?
Absolutely. As you guys make your way out, give me a second. I got to roll something.
Uh-oh.
Okay, sounds good. All right, as you guys make your way out and up the steps across the flat plateau, down into the jungle, walking through, finding very easily the same path that you went through initially. As you begin moving through the jungle, and the sun is pretty much out of view, but there's little hints of daylight left over as the shadows stretch very, very long and far across from your feet. Accord, you pull out the whistle from the owlbear and you begin to take a look at it. Go ahead and roll investigation.
Or
4. It is a wooden whistle. And as you hold it up, though, it has like a small bit of a rattle to it. There's some kind of a bead inside it, but there's no etchings, there's no markings. It is just a wooden whistle on a very worn down string.
any of you two? Any idea what this is?
My guess would be to call the owlbear.
My hypothesis too, but want to be sure.
Hear me out. What really happens is you hide that whistle on the owlbear because it calls an even bigger owlbear. So I think it leads to a bigger owlbear.
Fantasia, have you ever heard the term "there is no stupid" and ideas?
Of course. I heard that all the time growing up in the puppet show.
Well, forget that term. I'll turn over and hand the whistle over to Simon and say, see if you can figure it out.
Alright, I'll see what I can do, I guess. I'll put it in the bag for now.
Okay. As you take a look, it's a wooden whistle, has a bit of a jingle to it, and it's gone. Alright. Couple hours later, not too long of a trek for you, you make your way down the steps in the stone wall ladder, and you are once again back at Dragon's Rest. The sun is completely gone at this time, the moon has just begun to show itself, and the very hints of daylight are almost nothing but memories at this point, as it is almost time to turn in. As you guys make your way back to Dragon's Rest, you can see the kobolds are out in full force. They seem to be moving around quite frequently. A couple of them pass by you and maybe do nods and grunts, but they don't seem to be overly affected by your presence anymore. They've come to acknowledge it and be okay with it. But with that, Dragon's Rest is yours. The night is young. What would you three wish to do?
Well, first we should give a report back to Tarich and... what was her name? The priestess that introduced us to the island?
Elder Runara.
Renar. That
Yeah.
was it.
Yeah, Tarak is the human who did the trading, and Varnoth is the female with the sword as a leg. And then the kobolds, I mean, I can go through their names again, but they're a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the names are Aga, Blip, Frup, Kilnip, Layli, Mumpo, Mila, Rix, and Zarch.
Close. Zark. But yes.
So, I assume I would just find both of them and report back our findings and
Okay.
what transpired.
Looking for Renara and Tarek.
I'll also go.
All right. Fantasia. All right. All three. As you guys make your way looking around the area, you find both Tarek and Runara are in the library. They are in there with two other kobolds that don't seem to be do too much reading, as they just seem to be sitting at a table playing what can only be described as baby's first chess. But as they are off doing their own thing, you three make your way inside, and Tarek and Runara both look up, and they look pleasantly surprised to see you, and they, welcome back. You seem to be in good spirits, a little worn down, but you're alive. And then Tarek,
Did you figure out the problem? Are they safe? Are they well?
Yes, but we may have a much bigger problem.
Oh?
One of the things we found in there was a fire crystal. Not from here, from the plane of fire. It hatched into a flame snake that gave us a vision of an ancient red dragon.
Could it be?
and Tarek turns and looks at Renara, and Renara just, it may very well be. This ancient red dragon vision that you all saw, did it speak to you?
To the snake, but yes.
I believe I know what it is, but I do not want to confirm anything. Long, long ago, as this place has been fought over for generations between multiple different dragons, both chromatic and metallic, one of them made this place its tomb. An ancient red dragon known as Sharuth made a tomb deep below the island. This tomb has been the source of much volcanic activity. It is whispered here and there that its essence lives on, although its body has died. There hasn't been much proof of that other than just some of the kobolds having strange dreams, but they happen very rarely. It seems there may be more truth to the matter. I can look into this, but it's important that everyone is safe. Are the creatures of the caves safe?
As far as we can tell at the moment, yes.
That is good to hear. And she turns over to Tarek, and Tarek is,
Did they wish to do trades again, or would they like to be left alone?
Give them a while to, at least a few days to recover and recuperate. After that, they should be fine.
Oh, quite excellent, quite excellent. I've been longing for a trek. Oh, that is good to hear, that is good to hear. Did they take the offerings that you gave them?
Graciously.
Oh, that is good to hear. I am glad. We can still have something to offer them, and then them us in return. That is good.
Yes. And they give us this, and he will take out the mushroom and hand it to Tarek.
Oh, they have another. Oh, fantastic. Oh, the heart cap mushroom. This, mwah,
and he kisses it very, very happily.
this is an incredible elixir. Oh, they have no use for this. It just grows naturally in the caves, but for us, this is magnificent. Give me the night, and I can make you all something wonderful out of this.
May I? And Renara says, yes, go away. We are finished with our conversation. He goes,
Thank you very much.
and he very happily walks.
Do you mind if I join you?
Join me. You wish to make elixirs?
I have some skill, yes.
Happily. You can even help me hold the vial.
and he begins walking away.
I might have one better as I follow behind him.
Gotcha. All right. Left in the library are the two kobolds, Renara, Fantasia, and Accord. As the other two head out the room, Renara looks down at both of you and says, I want to thank you very much for what you've done. You have proven yourself
once again to be quite capable, and I appreciate that immensely, as does everyone who resides here. Are you needing of anything in return? Do you need food, drink, anything else I can possibly provide? Or do you wish to just bed down for the night?
Do you have anything in this library on fire snakes and flame drakes?
There may be, not to my knowledge, but I can absolutely look.
He will just begin spanning through the library for any information he can gather on everything that's transpired.
Okay, Fantasia?
Fantasia will say, what I really need is sustenance for the soul. Can you please point me to which direction I can find Mila in?
Mila most likely will be at her, in her little tinkering hut down along near the shore. It'll be the first opening when you're coming up, so the second last opening on your right.
I make my way there.
Gotcha. All right. For the sake of brevity, then, we will go through this rather quickly. Simon, as you head off with Tarek to make an elixir out of this heartcap mushroom, he begins to show you the process of stripping away parts of it that may not be any good for the elixir and just make it sour. It wouldn't ruin it, but it would just have a horrible taste. What parts are very, very good, what parts are no good, and usually you can get one vial out of a heart cap. Sometimes if it is a perfect heart cap with no bad spots, you can maybe make two. But as he goes through and shows the whole thing, he's like, this one confidently can make one vial. And this
What
vial,
are the effects?
this will make this Tarek can use it to make an elixir of health. Only positive effects, nothing negative, but it is only good for one elixir, this heart cap.
Fair enough.
What would you like to add in the making of it, if there's anything you want to add specifically?
Unless prompted, I won't add anything. I just want to see what the base, like, production line or the way it's made is.
Gotcha. Okay. His way of making it is rather crude. He does not have a whole lot of tools at his disposal. A lot of it is just kind of makeshift stuff that's ramshackled together.
I can help with
Absolutely.
this, actually. So, as this is going on, Simon, like, however long it takes, on the side, he's making things with... Basically, he has little tiny... basically small ants that are going and, like, locking into places with each other, and they're going to form a bunch of tools in order to help build this.
Okay.
So with the right tool for the job perk, which I just got,
Nice.
I spend an hour and I can make any tools,
Oh, sweet.
any set of tools, and they're not magical, even though they're made by magic, and they last until I use this feature again.
Gotcha. Okay. Then within an hour, because as he tells you that it takes him about 3 continuous hours to make this elixir by focusing on it perfectly, and you're like, I can half that with giving you the right stuff and just give me an hour. And as he preps everything and gets everything as best as he can within the hour that you create it, afterwards, you've got the perfect bottle, the perfect tools, the perfect class, everything, like thermometer, everything. It's perfectly made. And he's just like, holy shit. And within an hour and a half, Elixir of Health is created. So, you can add the Elixir of your health to your inventory. For the other two, this is a potion. When you drink it, it cures any disease affecting you, and it removes the blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and poisoned condition. Visually, it is a clear red liquid that has tiny bubbles of light inside it. So, Simon, you can add an Elixir of Health to your inventory.
It's elixir, not potion.
Yes.
We're like, why can't I see it?
Yeah, no, this one does not cure you of any hit points. It just cures you of conditions.
There it is. Nice. That'll go to the bag of holding, unsurprisingly.
And it's gone.
Thank you very much.
All right. Straight to bed with you after that?
No.
No. Okay. What would you like to do afterwards?
After that, Simon will get into his head that he needs to do more. He wasn't much of a help in the last bit of combat, so he feels like he needs to really get to the grindstone and work and, make himself more useful. So he's gonna take that extra project that he's had in that bag, and he's gonna work on it until it's done.
Gotcha. Okay. How long do you reckon it'll take you to finish this? All night? Couple hours?
Probably all night.
All night. You got it. If you take all night doing so, working furiously on this project?
Yep.
Yes, point of exhaustion. You're all right with that?
Yep, I'm well aware.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I'll attempt to do this where there's no one around.
Okay. Are you
So I
going
won't
anywhere
bother
specific?
anybody. If I've noticed a place that doesn't have as much traffic through it, then yes, I'll go there.
You could just use Tarak's little brewing station. Tarak is the only one that goes into it.
That's fine then.
Okay. And you stay in Tarak's brewing station as he begins to head out, and you ask to stay behind, and Tarak says, absolutely, and he walks off happy as can be. All right. With that, we'll move on to Fantasia. As you head down to the small little tinkering area for the tinkering kobold with her companion as well. As you walk in, the two kobolds look up, and they're clearly fiddling with scraps of fuck knows what. It's just metal and wire at this point. But you come on in, and they both look up first quizzically and then excitedly. It's like, ha! You came back!
I came back, and I have such good news. Have you guys been practicing your painting?
Yeah!
I've been practicing my painting too, and I pull out just it's almost like a napkin that I took because I wear a burlap dress. I don't have money for canvas.
Gotcha.
And so I took a napkin from the dining hall, and on it I've painted me with a giant belt on, holding up an onion that is 12 pounds because the world's largest onion was 11 pounds, and it is my greatest triumph. And what roll should I make to determine the quality of the painting?
Performance.
Oh no! 10. It's an okay painting.
It is a absolute average painting. It is perfectly average. But for the two kobolds, average is extraordinary. So, all right. They are in wonders on your painting, and they look very quizzically at it, very quickly forgetting the fact that they definitely didn't paint shit. So they're hoping you just glaze past that.
Oh, I totally do.
Excellent. All right. As you guys fawn over your painting and think about this onions, as you describe to them what, in fact, an onion is and all its glorious details, because, again, they've never seen an onion. They have no idea what the fuck this thing is. But they very, very much get involved into your artwork, your descriptions, your aspirations, your goals. And is that how you spend your evening until you fall asleep?
Yes.
Got it. All right. As you fall asleep with the two other kobold tinkerers and they fall asleep just listening to this wondrous item of yore that they've never experienced, and you are happy as can be. And from there, we move to a court. After going through the books, Renara comes up about a few minutes later, empty-handed. She doesn't have any books pertaining to fire drakes or fire snakes or fume drakes of anything that she could find herself, and you yourself also could not find anything of court. You could find a book that talks about the different material or the different planes that surround the material plane, and one of them does mention that the fire plane does exist, but it doesn't have too much information. It basically boils down to the fire plane exists. It's made of fire. It's fucking hot. So does the Shadowfell. It's evil. And it does very rudimentary descriptions that just acknowledges that these planes exist. I've never been there. This is what the back of the DVD says about them, and that's about it.
Let's hope for my father. So... Oh, we'll try to get more information in the morning.
Well, we will have breakfast ready for you in the dining hall whenever you wish to have it. Thank you again, but I'm going to retire for the night.
Thank you, Nah.
Thank you,
And
Accord.
he will venture down to the temple and turn in for the night.
Sounds good. All right. As you venture off that way and turn in for the night, all of you rest, with the exception of one of you, for the evening as we go into the following morning. And that was where we... Oh, yes. Go ahead, Daydream.
Just real quick, before bed, Fantasia will pray asking Bahamut if it is now time to paint the statue.
Gotcha. Make a religion check.
Religion.
Yes.
Oh, please, oh, please. 3!
3. As you put your hands together and you pray as hard as you can and you focus down and like you need the word of God himself, Bahamut. Can I paint the statue? And you focus in and everything goes silent. And you're like, this is it. I'm reaching out. I'm getting a connection. And one of the kobolds farts and breaks everything. You get no answer.
Okay.
And the room immediately smells like shit.
Wonderful. Don't waste it.
All right. And we will reconvene the next morning. But right now we're going to go to break. So, everyone, go ahead and grab a snack. Go to the bathroom. We will reconvene here in a few minutes. We'll be back. Let's go 10-minute break. So whatever time it is for you, at 50 after, we will reconvene for the rest of our session. See you all in a bit.
Welcome back to Dragons of Stormwreck Isle. We're back from our break. It is a new day. It is the new morning upon Dragon's Rest. Our 3 heroes, 2 of which are very well rested, feeling very, very good. One of them, not so much, but probably feeling very proud and accomplished this morning nonetheless, as it is finished. The job is done. As you all gather for breakfast in the main hall, a lot of the kobolds are spilling out and are finished and going off to bed, as the sun is out and they don't like that. A couple of them stay behind, but most of them do begin to wander off for bed. Runara, Tarak, and what was her name? Varnoth? Something like that? I'll find her name here. Yeah, Varnoth. Are all gathered here eating their breakfast as per normal. As you 3 come in, and they all, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Simon's actually now just passed out on top of his creation.
Okay, so you're not even there then.
No, I'm not even there.
Gotcha. All right. Well, as you 2 come in, good morning, good morning.
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 Breakfast is ready. We have lots for you to eat.
Thank you. He'll go in and he'll sit down and he'll say, by the way, Tareth. Tarech. However you pronounce his name.
Tarak.
Say, by the way, Tarak. That purple thing you say you see in the forest.
Ah, yes, yes.
It was an owl bear.
Owlbears are not purple. They're brown. Sometimes white, but brown.
Well, it's purple.
Odd.
It also had a whistle around its neck.
A whistle? Around it? Oh! I think I know where it came from then. Purple feathers and a whistle? Yes, yes. Renara, you remember several years ago that one shipwreck that was carrying all those people?
And Renara kind of quizzically looks around for a second. Oh, yes. I do remember the one that we thought was a carnival.
Yes. It was like a traveling zoo. That must have come from that then. Shame nothing else made it from it, but yes, that must have been it. Must have been traveling zoo.
Any idea what the whistle would be for?
Can't say I know. If it was in fact from a zoo, maybe it was used to perform tricks, to call it, get it to sit. I don't know. I've never been to a zoo. If it's around its neck, that means someone must have been able to get close enough to put it on its neck. I don't imagine an owlbear fastens a necklace for itself and then wears it.
Likely. It was easy to get it off.
It's most likely then it's a zoo animal. It's not meant for the wild. Actually, it's in a way, it's kind of lucky that it came across here. Then our jungle is not very large. It's could very easily be safe from other predators here.
Give me a second. He will get up and he will go to where Simon passed out and go get the whistle back.
Okay. You're not entirely sure where Simon passed out, but you know where he went off to. So you're just heading to where you last saw him going then, basically?
Yes.
Okay. As you head on over, you open the door, and you see Simon fully just limp over a strange, mangled thing that you can't really discern what it is, apart from half his body is laying on top of it.
None of my business. I go into the bag of holding and get the whistle back.
Okay. Are you being stealthy about this, or are you just kind of like whistle?
Well, I try not to wake him, but
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check. And you're trying to beat his passive perception here.
13.
What's your passive perception, Simon? You're muted.
It is 13.
It is 13. Meets it, beats it. He is asleep. Oh. And he died.
Rip.
He reached into the bag of holding, found out it was a bag of devouring, and got pulled in.
Does such a thing exist?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yes, a bag of devouring. Those things will fuck you up. I just had an experience with one in my other campaign, Descent to Avernus. They grabbed it and they were like, bag of holding. Hell yeah. And then they reached in to grab something and it pulled him entirely into the bag and he almost died. Because bag of devouring, shit you not, once you get pulled in, you get one roll. If you fail that roll, you are devoured and dead.
What?
One roll. If you are in a bag of devouring, you get one roll. If you fail it, you are immediately devoured and dead. There is no saves. So you have to, and they thankfully succeeded that roll and climbed out of the bag. And they went, never doing that again. So that was fun. Speaking of which, welcome back. I don't know if you can hear us or not, Breach.
We cannot hear you. There's also the Bagman.
Yes, the Bagman, who doesn't have an official stat block. He's just referenced, like, I think 3 times he's referenced in the Ravenloft supplement guide. I made a stat block for him, so...
I thought he does have a stat block now.
Nope. He is referenced 3 separate times in the book, but he has...
Stat block. I've used it.
I don't think he has an official one. He doesn't have an official one in the book.
Because there's a mini of him that Ashley's gotten like twice.
Oh, Breach has messaged me. Give me a second.
Don't forget to like the broadcast, everyone.
Breach is having problems with his computer. Said he is likely going to have to restart his computer.
All right. I guess we chill for a little bit.
So, apologies, chat. We're going to take a secondary break briefly. I don't know how long this will take, so I'm not going to go to a BRB stream or a BRB screen for now. We're just going to chill, see what happens.
Oh, good.
I have an entire Google document called Onion Facts. I just want you to know this.
Oh, boy. You know what? Not that surprised. So, nice weather we're having.
Yeah.
It's actually, like, not even being a meme. It's actually, like, been pretty nice weather so far.
That'll change once the Fire Nation attacks.
What the fuck? Why you gotta be like that? How dare you?
Sorry. Nation of the Ancient Red Dragon.
Yes, there you go. Nation of Ancient
Gotcha.
Red Dragons. Could you imagine? Good Christ almighty.
It could just be a nation that worships an Ancient Red Dragon. Or
Okay,
is
that-
ruled over by an Ancient Red Dragon.
See, that would be at least a little bit safer, quote unquote. But a nation of Ancient Red Dragons? Yikes.
1 will never happen. 2,
Yeah, no.
scary as hell.
I mean, not really spoilers, but for anybody who's watched campaign 1 of Critical Role, I mean, even in that one, it's like, yeah, dragons formed an alliance. It was fucking short-lived, I'll say that much. So,
And also they just showed at the end the thing that Thordak does that he should not be able to do.
are you talking about the end of the campaign or the end of the ongoing show?
End of the show.
Oh, okay.
They showed that part.
You mean
Not going to spoil it.
Are you talking about when he was speaking with Umbrasyl?
Probably. No, he's speaking with the ice one. What the hell is his name?
Oh.
Vorgal.
Vorgal.
Yeah. Here, I'll just send you the message. I don't want to
Okay.
spoil
I was like, I don't
it.
remember what he did with Vorgal that he shouldn't be able to do. That doesn't ring a bell. Oh, yes. Right.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that. I never second guessed that. I just went, sure, sounds about right. I never thought about that. Yeah, now that I think about that, it is a bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah, he should not be able to do that.
Oh, Ashley just told me how he's able to do that. Ashley, was he able to do that in the original campaign? I don't remember any of that in the original campaign. I remember...
Yes.
Yes, he was.
Oh, weird. I don't remember any of that. All right, cool.
Reaches in gaming. Do I pull him in?
Yes. Go for it.
Are you back?
Can you all hear me now?
Yeah,
No.
there we go. Oh, never mind. I guess not.
I have no idea why that happened.
We
Gotcha.
Gucci, boy. It's all good.
Oh! Never mind. I just remembered something. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, that just clicked for me. I remember that part now. All right. Anyway, sorry about that, chat. We are back.
I apologize.
That's all good. Lucky enough, if you're watching this after the live stream, you were able to skip through this. Just click the arrow keys on your keyboard in just fucking 10 seconds. Everything. Just click, 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 and you're good. So, anyways, all right. Now that we're back on track, so I don't know what you missed, but you meet his perception, and meets it beats it. So you were able to reach in, grab the whistle, and move on out without disturbing his slumber.
But does it beat the other things?
That depends. What's the other things?
No, meets beats, so...
Yeah, but does the other thing have a different perception than you?
Well, the
wouldn't
other thing's
his
always
beat
awake.
mine?
Oh, it's always awake. Oh, right. Fair enough. Interesting point. I guess that's up to you how it reacts to a cord reaching into the bag and pulling out the whistle. That I don't know how it would react. That's up to you.
Oh, that's a because it
It's-
doesn't know any better.
Yeah, I don't know. It's yours. I don't know how it would react or anything. It's of your will.
So, as it's there, you just see as you're like going towards Simon, you just see a head, or what could only be a head, but it has bulbous eyes and almost like a beaked mouth, if it had a mouth, which it doesn't look like it does. It just like looks at you as it comes closer, well, as you go closer.
I stare back at it and keep reaching for the whistle.
It'll then Simon's like draped along at basically its back, and it'll like scuttle away on it has 4 legs and a pair of basically it'll like only be like claws on the front of it. So and as it moves, Simon will be like and like fall off of it and pet him.
Okay. Because the meets it beats it from the sleight of hand, as you kind of fall and such, you're like kind of somewhat jolted awake before you like groggily just kind of and then still not notice the whistle being taken because of the sleight of hand beating it. So you've got the whistle if you wish, but Simon will be fully awake here in a matter of moments.
Ugh.
I don't care. I leave. I'm in no rush.
Okay.
I just leave, and I like to go to where the forest would start
Okay.
from. And while I'm doing that, Fantasia, what are you doing?
I think Fantasia was having breakfast with Mila, sculpting her mashed potatoes into something.
What do I dare ask? Is this something?
You know what? Let me make a roll and I will tell you.
Great. You do that.
Oh my goodness, it's a 22. It looks like a marble carving. The way that the butter is through the potatoes and the flecks of the salt and the pepper, it looks perfectly like a marble statue.
Of
And it's
what?
just of an arm.
Got it. Wait. Of a what?
An arm.
Oh, of an arm. Okay. Interesting. All right. As you've made your mashed potatoes of this curled up arm kind of reaching up for the heavens, a holy hand, a carrot, another onion, fuck knows, but it's reaching out of that plate. And Mila is absolutely amazed if she wouldn't be so goddamn tired. But she's like, she's... And as she slams her head on it, your arm kind of... And Milo is passed out on the table entirely.
Okay. then.
Wonderful.
Anyway, so you head off to the jungle.
Yes, once he gets to where the jungle would start,
Mhm.
he will like to just take the whistle out, take a deep breath, and as hard as he can, he will blow the whistle.
Excellent. Make an animal handling check for me. That's not a good face. Is that a nat 1 or
Nat
something?
1.
Oh, boy.
Nat 1.
Okay, so as you get up to the edge of the jungle, you pull out the whistle and you blow into it. The whistle has definitely seen better days, as it has that bead rolling inside it, as it's like a normal whistle. However, the bead goes through and then it gets stuck in the little gap, so it just turns into a regular whistle, but it has like a bit of a weird off-angled shrill like to it instead of a proper screech. But nonetheless, you're like, okay, well, it worked for a solid 2 seconds before the bead got impaled onto it. And in the distance, you hear and you see trees as something is coming your way fast. You have a couple seconds to do anything before this something is upon you.
Okay,
It didn't sound pleasant.
I'll go. God damn it. And I guess he'll just wait.
You're just going to stand your ground and wait?
Yep.
Okay. So,
He'll take. You know what? He'll take out some of his rations.
okay. Sounds good. Desperate attempt. All right. So, as you stand there, wait, and hold out some rations, and you see trees shifting as suddenly a flock of birds flies off, scared out of their minds, and you sit there just, yep. And suddenly, and from the brush, you see the familiar owlbear come out on all fours, head down, in its clutches, one of the baby owlbears being held by its scruff, just kind of dangling there. As it comes out furious, and it sees you, and its eyes narrow, and the little baby owlbear, and the mama one just kind of stout, before you hear once again. Not from this owlbear, though. As a much larger owlbear comes out. You met Mother. Daddy wasn't home. And Daddy comes out with the other two dangling from its beak. And all of these owlbears are just staring at you, maybe about 15 feet away.
I am going to look at the mother, and I'll just go, "Hey, remember me?" And I'll toss some rations.
It slowly leans down, opens its beak, and the baby drops. And it very quickly
comes over to you, swipes up the rations with its beak, 180s, runs back, grabs the baby, and they all bound into the woods.
Well, I'll try again later. And he turns around and goes back to camp.
Got it. Okay. Meanwhile, while that's all happening, Simon, you are fully awake at this point, on the ground, but awake.
What just happened?
It just kind of shifts over.
I must have fallen asleep again. So he's actually going to look over and see if there's anything that he might have missed in the production of this being.
Go ahead and make an investigation.
Where's my sheet? Bam! Then I add a D4. I got a grand total of 8.
8. You have that feeling of like everything looks fine, it feels fine. I fucking missed something though, and you just going over everything is like it couldn't have been this easy, but like you everything's telling you is like I know I did this correctly, but I can't shake this feeling I didn't, and you kind of have to struggle with that.
Yep. I guess he'll just be going all up and over it, and as he's doing this, he's telling it to do like different movements.
Yep, and it's posing like mannequin style. The YMCA shit.
He's giving it things to like hold and make sure the grapple, because it has little grabbers at the end of its. I'm not sure what are they called.
Your guess is as good as mine. It has mandibles at the ends of its mandibles.
What is it called? Does it have a different name? I have no idea. But yeah, at the end of it, it also has like things to like properly grab things instead of with its entire arms.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear you.
Pincers, I guess.
Works for me. But to the best of your knowledge, every piece of it works accordingly. Nothing seems to be wrong. You can't shake the feeling that you're like, I'm sure I fucked up. I'll probably figure that out later. But as best you can find, it works as intended.
Well, there's nothing better than field testing, am I right? And then he looks toward the door. Looks towards the thing. Yeah, you can make it through that, I'm sure. Opens up the door and motions it for it to come along.
It is a medium-sized creature?
It is a medium-sized creature, yeah.
It fits. It gets to the door, kind of looks up and down the sides, and then... and guts through.
I'm going to double check that it's medium. Yeah, it's medium.
I'm pretty sure it is.
But for those of, I guess I should do like a better description of it. Basically, take a praying mantis and make it mechanized. That's essentially what he's got.
Yep. You know, like Metal Link? Just replace Link with Mantis. He's got Metal Mantis.
And this is what I'm going to use as my steel defender.
Cyberpunk Mantis. There we go.
Hey! Yeah, buddy.
Wake up, Mantis. We got an island to save.
I'm Psycho Mantis.
Psycho Mantis.
Okay, that's funny.
Anyway, yeah, you and your creation reach outside into the strains of daylight streaming down upon you. It is warm upon your skin. It feels like nothing upon its not skin.
Yep.
But where would you like to go?
Probably food, because he's probably hungry.
Yep. You're hungry and exhausted. But
Yep.
as you make your way over to the area for dining and food, as you come on in, you see that there is a couple of kobolds. One is completely asleep at the table with her wings folded over, and there is looks like a melting thing of what can only be described as probably an arm, but it was mashed potatoes, and it's slowly turning back into normal mashed potatoes. But at this point, Accord is currently missing, but Runara and Tarak are inside as they look up and they go, "What is that?"
I was a little bit busy.
I could see that.
It's a project that I never got around to finishing or knowing how to finish until now.
Well, it certainly looks impressive. Can it speak? Well, does it follow your commands?
As far as I'm aware, yes. See,
You don't
it's-
know.
I've never built one of these before.
Slightly spooky. And he kind of sits up straight.
Hasn't done anything out of the ordinary yet.
Yet is the key word in all things.
It's not truly alive. And as he says that, he's a little crestfallen.
All right. At this
And
point,
then
sorry, go ahead.
falling asleep on the.
Gotcha. You go over and you're like, "Ooh, bacon, some ham and such." And as you put it all on the plate, you're like, you're done. At this point, Accord. A few moments later, you walk into the room. I imagine you're going straight there as well. Okay. At this point in time, you can see that Fantasia, Runara, Tarek, a couple of kobolds, and Simon, along with the strange metal thing he was laying upon, are all once again in the room. But Simon has gone from sleeping in that room to sleeping in here.
Okay. I'll walk in, sit down, say, "Whoop, the whistle calls the owl bears."
Fantasia will burst out laughing because she'll immediately realize that he found out through cause and effect.
Hey, field testing. It works.
I'm not the only one
And,
who's field testing.
Fantasia, let's call a bigger one.
Oh.
I think at laughter he'll wake up again, and then also eat a little bit more and actually try and stay awake.
Gotcha. You'll kind of, huh? Oh yeah, ham. All right.
Simone,
As the laughter kind of, oh sorry, go ahead, Accord.
I say, Simon, you stay with us here, okay?
I'll do my best. I didn't stop until I just dropped. You see, it's kind of a problem that I have when I get into this kind of stuff, and then he just starts like monologuing, and like
Gotcha.
when it does this, it doesn't work, and then I have to do this and this and this. It doesn't matter if you're listening or not. He's gonna do it until he either A, falls asleep again, or B, he gets interrupted.
Well, on that last note, after you go into this, a couple of sentences, and just as a couple of people who are really trying to pay attention can't associate it with it anymore because it's just not something they've ever experienced, Varnoth comes through the door, and she goes, "Oh, hey, good morning, you lot. You three are gonna love this, especially you." And she points over at Tarek. And you see she's coming in. She looks very, very haggard and, like, out of breath. "I got bad news, fellas. I dispatched a couple more zombies over the night. I think this problem is only getting worse. I think we gotta fix it. I think we gotta do something. And right now, I would be the only one to do it, but they look like they're full of energy and youth. Well, maybe not that one, but the other two look fine."
What needs to be done?
Well, you see, this place has been a problematic source for all sorts of shipwrecks for a very long time. It's just the nature of the weather and the rocky shoals around this area. But
Several ships recently crashed on the rocks north of Dragon's Rest, and they all sunk with no survivors that I could ever find, myself or Tarek. However, a few days ago, maybe 2 days before your arrival, myself and Rix, one of the kobolds, we'd witnessed the most recent wreck, and the ship had veered abruptly off course and crashed straight into the rocks and fragments of bone. And, well, after that wreck, we noticed a lot more zombies. They occasionally showed up, 1 or 2 here or there, but something seems to have pulled in more wrecks than usual. And I don't know how what's placing it, but we'd gotten an occasional wreck here or there. No problem. We saved the people, gave them food, comfort, it was what it was. And then wrecks would happen with no survivors. And then recently there have been a lot more wrecks, very rapidly all of a sudden, and even in clear weather, not anything remotely causing the wrecks. They just happen. And far more zombies coming out of the reasoning. Don't know what it is. But
Have you ever heard something strange coming from the rocks?
No, we don't go over to them. We've only went over to rescue the people that did survive, and then recently we'd been finding just no survivors, and every one of them had no survivors. So we just stopped. It was not worth it to go out there looking for what wasn't there. And then occasionally we'd find them coming out of the goddamn depths.
Sounds like a siren to me.
Could be. Don't know.
But would a siren make zombies?
I've never heard of a siren making zombies. I've heard of a siren calling me in my nightmares and sometimes my dreams, but it doesn't turn me into a walking degenerate.
Fantasia?
Yes.
You got any theories on it?
Well, what I'm thinking is, so there has to be a chain of command. So there's going to be a bigger zombie commanding the smaller zombies. And behind that, I'm thinking at minimum, we're dealing with a lich.
I hope
A
to.
lich
I hope to all the
at-
gods not.
Did you just say a lich at minimum?
At minimum, it's the only possible explanation.
If we are dealing with a lich at minimum, we're all dead.
But were we ever alive?
Oh, I don't want to have philosophical questions with you right now. Renara, what do you think?
Simon, leave the philosophy to me.
Renara kind of pipes her head up for a second. There's that rather large wreck that seems to be the crux of all of this. That was the first one with no survivors, right? And Varnoth kind of... Yeah, the one that's got, like, Rose at the end of its name. The rest of it kind of faded off, yeah? Renara's... Yes, that one. And she looks at the three of you. On the north side of our island, there is some rocky shoals, but they're not primarily rocks. Long ago, on one of the many battles for this island, an ancient gold dragon was felled, and its bones lie there on the shore. Ships would crash up upon them numerous times, but I believe it's the Compass Rose is what its name is, that was the first with no survivors. It is by far the largest shipwreck out there. If there is a reasoning for all of this, it probably began with that one. I'd recommend starting there.
That's
Fair
good.
enough.
It is only accessible by boat, however. You'll have to take the rowboat. Unless you can fly. Or swim that far.
No, I can't fly. Well,
Nor can any of
Not-
us, so...
not yet.
Ambitions are good to have. Well, the rowboat is yours. I recommend safety and caution, but I would start with the Compass Rose.
DM question.
Yes.
Is the rowboat big enough for the 4 of us?
It holds 4 medium-sized creatures.
Hey.
So, yes, with your new companion, it will fit all 4 of you comfortably. Any additional people, it would be a little bit cramped.
That's okay. I can always just, like, take off chunks and stuff them in the bag.
Oh, my arm! Oh, God! It's gone, yeah.
You'll be coming right back out. Stuff.
It's a good thing it doesn't need to hold its fucking breath. So, but yes, all 4 of you, companion included, can fit in the rowboat comfortably. On that note as well, I did have a bit of a look myself during the night into the Sharuth problem. I believe the tomb does exist, and embers of its essence are flooding, but I believe I found the source for it. A small portion of its life was clinging down below, and this life essence was slowly opening a rift to the elemental plane of fire. It is how I believe those things caught in and blocked the vent due to the immense heat. It was a perfect breeding area for the egg to hatch. I have sealed that life essence. There is no longer a link to the elemental plane. I cannot do anything about the tomb, nor the heat coming from it, but there should be no more worries of anything bleeding into this realm. I believe I have stopped that.
But it's so there's a lingering essence of this ancient red dragon.
It was a very powerful creature. Even if its physical body has died, I believe portions of it still linger on. That's what is causing what can only be described as the essence of a volcano below. But it cannot build upon that. It has died. Eventually, it will all fade away, but it will take time.
Probably more than that. There's a lot of problems around this island.
The island has a lot
The
of history.
Lingering essence of something as powerful and evil as a spawn of Tiamat. Maybe what's causing many of them.
Very
This
well
is
be.
something that needs to be dealt with.
I agree. But I would also say that I don't believe it is the most immediate problem. If these zombie attacks are getting more and more prevalent, I believe that needs to be addressed first and foremost.
Agreed. Simon, can you stay awake?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
The boat travels not very far. It'll take you about an hour and 40 minutes, maybe 2 hours if the waves are against you.
So be it, I guess.
And there's only enough room for one person to row. Maybe 2, one on either side, but you can definitely rest while the rest do the work, if need be.
Fantasia, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Very well.
I must say as well, for a ragtag group such as yourselves, I mean, we have Fantasia, who's a human who has a very, very deep love for onions. Yourself, a cord of fire genasi of the temple, and you, a tinkerer who've both half human, half elven descent. It is a strange situation to find all 3 of you here helping us out in working. I mean, let's be honest. We're a small ragtag group ourselves, living off the land. It's a strange situation we've all come across here, but I want to thank you all very much. It means a lot.
Things is not necessary. I just go with wherever the Platinum Father guides me.
Well, I am very glad to say that he has guided you here. It has been immensely helpful. Even though not all the problems have been solved, we have solved one, and it's more than we had solved a few days ago. So again, for that, I thank you three. The boat is ready whenever you wish to take it. You do not need to worry about high tide or low tide.
Shall we be off, or do you two have something else to attend to first?
Daydream has something she needs to ask God.
Really, really quickly, what I do is I take a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow, and a little bit of blue, and I give them to Mila, and I tell her I want to see some beautiful painting when I return.
She doesn't raise her head from the table. She just gives you a thumbs up and then tries to go back to sleep.
Exactly what I wanted to hear.
Got it.
I also have a request
For
Mela.
oh, she.
Would you be able to find me a larger weapon? I have something I'd like to try.
What kind? I could find you a really large stick, but I don't think that's what you're talking about.
I was hoping to find something like a maul or a great sword or a pike or a halberd, anything like that.
So you want a martial weapon?
Yes.
I'll do my best. Do you want me to find one, or can I just make you one?
I guess get me the materials to make one, and I can do what I can.
Oh,
do.
you want to make it yourself? Oh, fine. No one wants Mila to make it. She puts her head back on the table.
Does she notice the construct, or does she not?
If she has, she doesn't have the consciousness to really acknowledge it. She's just kind of like, I'm not even sleeping in my own goddamn bed right now, and all night I was awake talking about something called a fucking onion, and I still don't understand. So
It's a concept with many layers.
Yes, and Mila is having a hell of a time functioning with all of them. So, but she has acknowledged she will do her best to find you the materials so you can make it yourself.
Damn right. I gotta do everything myself here. What the?
Why not just let her make the weapon?
Well, there's always something about making it yourself.
To each their own.
All right. At this point, Varnoth will. Well, if it's all the same to you, Free, I'm gonna go to bed now. Good night or good morning, whatever pleases you so. And Varnoth takes her leave outside of the hall.
Good night, Smirnoff.
You hear a, "The fuck! I wish I had some." And that was about it. And at this
Ye
point,
old Smirnoff.
yes. At this point, Renara's just, well, thank you again. I know I've said that a lot, but I really mean it. Enjoy your travels, and do come back safely. If things get too risky, do not risk yourself. It is a problem we can fight at any point in time. There is a matter that needs to be attended to, but it is not worth risking your life over it.
Maybe not yet.
Maybe not yet, but let's focus on the now.
Probably a good thing.
Let us be off.
Yeah.
All right.
And now walk towards to wherever the boat's being kept.
All right. As the three of you head on all the way down to the shore, once again with the rowboat tied up to the post, you load yourselves up and push off. Heading north along the waters, keeping the island off to your left-hand side as you mosey up alongside the sheer cliff wall, losing sight of Dragon's Rest out behind you. Simon, are you going to attempt to take a short rest in the rowboat?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right, go for it.
I don't really get it much back besides HP, but that's okay.
Hey, HP is something to have. How many hit dice you rolling?
I'll roll 1 so far.
Okay.
Where do I roll hit dice on this thing?
You just manually roll a d8 and then just manually add to your health.
That works. Uh-huh. I guess I'm gonna use another 1.
Yikes, you roll a 1?
Yeah, sure did.
Oof.
Okay, that'll put me back to full with my con mod.
Nice.
So I used 2 hit dice, wherever that is.
So you at least got that going for you.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so you will have disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws till that exhaustion's gone. All right. So, as you guys shove off against the waves, as the sun begins to climb higher and higher into the sky, and you round a corner of the section, and you can start to see bits of rock poking out of the ground before you realize that some of those rocks are much whiter than they should be for rock, before realizing those are not rocks, those are bone. And there's these large bones just picking up like pointed sharp fingers out of the water as they come into view. And then a few moments later, as you begin to maneuver through these rocky shoals, you see what can only be described as a massive shipyard of graves, of just ruined mastheads, figureheads, pieces of drifting plank wood, some fully intact boats just smashed up against the side, but the rest of it exposed to the elements, some of them only hanging on by sheer threads, and one enormous wreck near the middle. Waves lap up against a derelict ship lodged against a ridge of rocks and enormous dragon bones. A faint odor of rot wafts on the sea air, along with the sound of screeching seagulls and the roar of the surf. A tangled mess of tattered sails and rigging hangs off the starboard side of the main deck, offering one possible way to climb aboard. At the stern, you can make out a gaping hole in the hull beneath the waterline. And as this all comes into view and you debate the best way to climb aboard this ship, to scout it longer, to climb on, swim beneath, we will discover your decision next week. Actually,
Not
sorry,
next week.
not next week. Bit of an announcement. Next week we'll be taking a break from Stormwreck's Isle as our beloved Simon is going to be disappearing for the weekend. So next weekend will be a regular WinglessValkyrie stream, but we will then be continuing with the shipwrecked episode the following week.
My apologies.
That's all good.
I'm being kidnapped.
Life happens. It's all good. Alrighty.
If you need help, blink supercalifragilisticexpialidocious in Morse code.
You got it.
I'm going to be here for a couple more minutes as he attempts to blink out that.
Just tweaks out for a little bit.
Oh god, don't do that. All right. Well, my friends, that'll do it for us. Thank you all for coming along to this session. We will see you all in 2 weeks' time for episode 5, when we explore the Compass Rose shipwreck and go from there. I believe we will likely have, including the next episode, I think the next episode will be either our second last or our third last episode, and then the campaign will be done. Not too much to go. You are well over the halfway point. So,
Whee!
Awesome.
Alrighty, friends. Have yourselves a good night. Thank you all for coming down, and we will see you guys all again later. Good night.
Bye-bye.
And bye-bye.